So guys, it's midweek and it's time for us to do another analytics for the remaining few days of the week, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'm just going to share with you some basic setup that I personally do with supply and demand, and we'll be doing a top-down analytics. However, for it's only the first setup that we are really going to go into details. The rest setup we are going to apply exactly the same knowledge I've shared with you for the first setup, so that we can make the video very fast and simple. So first on my list here we have GBPUSD, and if I'm trading I start from the 4-hour or daily, but for the sake of this video let me kick off from the daily time frame. Now when you look at the daily time frame right now, you can see our GBPUSD is actually in an uptrend, so which gives us this mind that what we should be looking for a buy. However, we are not going to look for a buy, so let me just get this trend line out here. You can see, so we have this trend line that is actually approaching the top, but let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame first. So now looking at it on the 4-hour time frame, we can see clearly that the market is still far off this level here, which is this trend line point. Since the market is still far off this trend line point, and at the same time, let me mark it out, and at the same time the market is actually dropping to the downside from here, as we can see, because we can see that the market just broke support here on the 4-hour time frame. This is a key support level that the market just broke on the 4-hour time frame, and this area, if you look at this side before, it was an area of resistance, which makes it a good selling point. So despite the fact that the daily time frame shows that the market is trending to the upside, we are going to look at the 4-hour time frame and actually follow the 4-hour time frame bias, because for whatever thing to form on the daily time frame, it needs to first form on the 4-hour time frame. And from here, the 4-hour time frame is showing us what the market is in a down trend, which means that obviously the 1-hour time frame is going to follow suit. Now looking at this, so here we have this downside here, and you can see that the market even swept this area of order block before it started falling off. So the next thing we need to do is simply we'll come over to the 1-hour time frame. Now the 1-hour time frame is where I like marking my levels. The reason is simple: the 1-hour time frame levels are very clean as compared to any other time frame. So for the sake of they are cleaner, I like marking my time frames from there. So looking at this chart right now, the 1-hour time frame, we can see that we had a power movement from here. So from here downward had a very powerful movement on the 4-hour time frame. You can see it was actually created by 3 candles. So for that reason, we are going to look for our supply level around here. So here is a key support that was broken, so I'll just spot a supply level right above it, and for that I'm actually going to make use of this level here, this place, or if you want it furthermore you can actually box it down here, but for me I'm just going to keep it to the top side alone. So this area here like this is where I'll be considering a buy, because when you drag this over you can see that it matches with this previous key level as well, so this would be a good buy level. So now for GBPUSD, for the remaining days of the week, I'll be waiting for it to make a retracement here, then I'm going to take a sell downwards. So that is basically what I'm going to look at for GBPUSD. So if it comes here, then I can drop down to the 30-minute time frame, wait for a 30-minute bullish bearish close, then I'm actually going to take my buy like this. So here will be my entry. So obviously when the candle closes, might close around somewhere here, my entry, then I'll target this trend line here as my major take profit point, and my stop loss, not too much, I'll just keep it right above here. The reason is simple: if the market is able to break above here without if the market prints a bearish sell confirmation and then it's able to break above here, that basically means that the market is actually going to continue buying. So for that reason, I'm just going to keep my stop loss a bit tight like this, leaving at a 1:6.4. so a setup like this is just okay for GBPUSD. Now in some cases the market might get here and then make attempt like it wants to sell, which is at this line here. Please don't fall for that attempt. If it doesn't break above here, then it's likely going to take a lot of time under here, because this place here is an area of liquidity, as a lot of sellers will try to buy from this, will try to sell from this particular level. So now we'll move over to the next one, the next setup on our list. But before we do that, so guys, just as the way it's very important for you to have a good setup before you go into the market to take a trade, it's also very important you trade with the right broker when it comes to trading. And for that reason, as you already know, I bring Light Finance here. With Light Finance, one of the most reliable trading brokers out there that I will advise any trader to trade with. So whether you're trading currencies, which is forex, commodities, cryptocurrencies, indexes, shares, you have no problem at all. You have all of them on Light Finance, and they are in SX. You will never run out of options to actually trade. And they have two different account sizes. They have a classic account and then the ECN account as well. Now you can see the floating account, the ECN account, you have 0.01 floating points, which means that the spread is at 0.0. And you can see the over here we have the classic account, which have a spread of 1.8 points, and it has zero commission. And in all of them, you have a 1:1 leverage, which is actually good for any sort of trader. So guys, if you're looking for a reliable platform to trade with, I always advise that you trade with Light Finance. You can click on the link that's available in the video description or in the pinned comment to actually come and start trading with them. Now, if you, in case you're a new trader who doesn't have experience yet, well, you have no problem at all, because Light Finance got you covered with their copy trading option. Now, what the copy trading does is simply it gives you the privilege to actually copy other professional traders that are making good amount of profit on the platform, so you can also make profit as well, even if you don't know how to trade. So whenever they take a trade, you can just click on copy and you copy their trade. And the best thing is that what you are not copying blindly, because Light Finance is going to show you the performance of these traders over the years, so you know who you are copying. And they also expose you those people risk level as well, to make sure that what you don't over risk. So guys, aside gold, which is a total different market here. Now let's analyze gold together. I'm going to start from the daily time frame as usual. Now for gold, I don't really care much about the higher time frame, because gold is just a trash on its own. Let me just go down to the 4-hour time frame where I respect on gold. So for this, I'm going to start off with marking my supply and demand levels on gold. So I have this level here. So let me mark it out perfectly with this. So here is a support level. You can see it was respected at this point here. So we have this support on gold, and the market is yet to break it. So gold, looking at the 4-hour time frame, we have this support here. And let me just look at the 1-hour time frame. The market is not really looking clear to me on gold. Yeah, the market is actually not too certain on gold. So but gold still look very bearish to me. I'm not going to lie, gold looks very much bearish. Considering all of these long wicks here, I'm going to advise, I'm looking at gold right now. It looks way too bearish for me. It looks very bearish, but at the same time, these wicks are not really convincing. So let's see tomorrow when the market actually start moving again. Let's see if it's going to break below here on Wednesday, early hours of Wednesday. If it breaks below here on early hours of on Wednesday, then you can look for a sell setup. But if it doesn't break below here, then you need to just look out for buy session. So basically, early hours on Wednesday, what you want to see from gold is simply probably a break from here and then a retest. Then you can start looking for sell opportunity. But until you create this on early hours of on Wednesday, please just stay away from gold, because from here gold can decide to spike downwards or shoot back upward. This is not a major support level. Let's take a look at CAD JPY. Now we have a good market in our hand. USDJPY is looking good as compared to CAD JPY. Now for USDJPY on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that the market is actually trading upward. USDJPY is moving upward. Now I'm just going to ignore the wick. Now this is not a good trend line, because the trend line seems too straight. So this is not a good trend line at all. And looking at it here, we had this major support that got broken. Let me draw it out. This was a support level before this heavy fall broke it, and now the market is right above it again. However, on the 4-hour time frame, we can see this sell-off point here, which is a supply level. So looking at USDJPY, my only take here is simply I'm going to wait for this market to actually come to this top here, and I'm going to go down to the 30-minute time frame and do a lower time frame setup and then execute a sell. Or if you want to trade it from the 4-hour time frame as well, you just wait for it to retest this supply here, because it's a very clear supply level. So you wait for it to retest this supply, and they give you a 1 hour bearish close. Then you can just take a sell with your stop loss here, and probably your take profit right here. So this could be another great setup as well. It will be a 1:3 because it's on the 4-hour time frame. You can see you wait for the market to trade back here, it taps here, and then you take your sell immediately, because you can't say you're going to buy this market as the market is not really looking promising. So this will be my outlook on USDJPY. Now let's take a look at US30. So this is a mark that I use for a tutorial. Let me just clear it off. Now US30, not convincing. You can see the range here. After a break below here, we should look for some decent movement. After a break below here, we expected some decent movement, but what we are getting is a back and forth range, which is what I'm scared that gold is actually going to do, as to how I skipped gold. You see, after I got this break here, nothing really interesting is moving. So before I can think of doing anything on US30, I'll wait for a solid break that will sweep out this low here. A solid break that will take out this low, then a retracement before I'll consider taking a sell on US30. So basically what I mean is I need this place to sweep off, and a retracement back here, then I can consider taking a sell, or yeah, probably a sell. Yeah, it's a sell that I will take. There's no or to this. Break here, retest here, then a bearish close, then I can actually take a sell. But till then, there's nothing I'm going to do in this market, because people who got in earlier, like people who actually took the trade from this level here, you can see people who trade all those break and retest would have taken their trade when the market returned here. So once the market broke below here, they came back to retest here, they would have taken their trade. That's the same thing we are waiting for. We want this one to break below here, come back to retest here, then we can also take a sell position as well. Till then, we let the market sit. Now I'm not sure silver is going to be any different. Well, silver look a bit different. We can actually get a real setup on silver. So now let's take a look at silver daily time frame. Okay, so on the daily time frame, silver is patiently sitting here, it's patiently sitting around here, which I believe is going to drop a bit to this level. Yep, silver is going to drop to this very level here to make up this level, to retest this old level here. And for that, let's just skip to the 1 hour time frame and do the final setup there. I know the 4 hour is already a sell. So now let's take a look at silver. We had a decisive move from here. We can look forward to take a sell on silver from this point here, because this place is actually followed by a break of structure, as we can see here. So here we have a break of structure. That means we can consider taking a sell here on silver as well. This will be a very tight entry, because silver is a very big noise maker. So you wait for the market to retest there as usual. Go down to the 30-minute time frame, and then wait for a 30-minute bearish close, and then you enter at the close and then target this low here as your take profit point, because there's no way silver is going to buy from this level here. This is just a random level. This is the only key level where I see silver actually making a buy move from. Now US oil, one of my favorite. So guys, for the last one here, let's take a look at this guy here known as GBPUSD. Now GBPUSD is also the same as DAX. So for those of you, some of your network might call it DAX 40, as you can see here, DAX 40 cash CFD. It's also the same as GBPUSD. Their movement, every single thing is the same. The only difference is that GBPUSD is more volatile as compared to GBPUSD. Like both of them will make equal move, but the profit or loss margin is totally different. It's very huge on GBPUSD. That's why I trade GBPUSD for a steady profit ride. So now taking a look at this market right now. Okay, let's just look at the daily time frame, even though it doesn't really matter to me. So we have this high here that the market is here to get to. We have this high here that the market is currently approaching from this movement here. Now if we drop down to the 1 hour time frame, we can see that the market is now moving to the upside. So look at it on the 1 hour time frame. So it's the same on the 4 hour time frame. That's why I did not bother checking the 4 hour. When you take a look at this level here, you can see that the market has taken out this high here, thereby creating a market shift to the upside. So now we have a market shift, which is also a change of character to the upside. And here we have our clear demand level. So here we have a very good demand level. And in case this one does not hold, we have this final one here that we can also consider. I think this one is way more trust to me. This final one here has more value to me, but we'll first of all see if this one doesn't hold, then we'll look at this demand level. So if for this one to trade, before you execute trade from this demand level, make sure that what the market actually plays to the upside. So let me draw it out for you. So before you trade from this particular one here, make sure the market comes, take out this high, creating a break of structure here before coming back down before you trade this one. But in a case whereby it comes down straight from this point that it is, then wait and trade from this lower one here. So guys, that's all I have for you in this video. And as I just said, make sure to trade with Light Finance, or if you can trade with, or if you are looking for a prop firm to trade with, I recommend Blueberry Funded. I'm affiliated with them. They're 100% reliable, and if you are not new on this channel, you see that I receive consistent payout from them since they are released in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. So guys, that's all I have for you in this video. Remember to use Light Finance and Blueberry Funded as your trading platform. Light Finance is a broker and Blueberry Funded is actually a prop firm. So guys, see you in my next video. Bye.